What's good, man? Probably gonna be doing a live stream all by myself this morning, showing up late at a different time, but still saying what's up to everybody. Hope we can get a conversation going at this awkward time. Tell me what's up when you're in the comment section, so I know I ain't by myself. Usually we do this at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I was like, man, I need to sleep today, man. So I stayed in the house, slept a little. What's going on, CG Cap in the building? What's going on, man? Says salute Fannon and everyone that came to check out the channel. We got Stevenson versus Herring tonight, Plant versus Canelo versus Plant in 2 weeks, Porter versus Crawford in a month. You got that right. Then Tank and you damn dog, you ain't lying, man. We got some fights coming on, huh? This is a good time in boxing, man. That's what's up. You right, man. You right, man. But I got to tell you, man, I was listening to my man BFTB yesterday. One of the very few channels that I actually listen to nowadays. You know, I kind of went into a shell on listening to other people's stuff. But I was listening to BFTB yesterday, man, and he was saying he didn't think it was right to call Jamel Herring the favorite in this fight tonight. And that's the first time that I'd heard anybody really putting up an argument for Jamel Herring, man. I can't see it, but am I missing something? Seriously, man, because I respect BFTB, man. That dude, hey, that's the man right there. Man, I don't know, man. I looked at the fight. I just can't see it, man. I can't see it. If they get this upset, this is a big upset. If Jamel Herring pulls this out, man, I can't believe it. Smooth Groove Boxing, man. What's going on with you this fine morning, man? Boxnard 805 in the building. Viva 2 Vita in the building. What's happening, man? Derek Hartwell, what's going on, man? Ron Miller in the building. HMC3 says salute, man. Salute to you, man. The highlight. Where'd it go, man? I passed up the highlight, man. What's going on, John Mayfield? Man, dude, you cracked me up, dog. You over at that dude's channel to be clowning on me, dog. But dude, that dude, I'm not gonna say his name because I ain't in the business. I actually like that dude, man. She's got a good show. When he ain't obsessing about other people, what other people think, that dude's got a good show, man. Good show, good head on his shoulder, man. No joke, man. No joke. I don't take nothing he says personally about me because, you know, it's whatever, man. All kind of people say shit about me. I ain't caring no more. But, man, I saw you over there. I was like, man, it's a good dude. I saw blood over there. So maybe for the last 2 weeks, I've actually been dipping in and listening to the channel, man. I'm like, that's a pretty decent. He knows his boxing, man. He ain't straight troll like some of these dudes. Highlight said Raleigh's a clown, but credit for stepping up instead of Ryan Garcia. Yeah, what do you mean credit for stepping up? Man, he getting a payday, man. I ain't giving Raleigh no credit. Raleigh about to get mopped up, man. Oh man, Raleigh be talking that shit though, man. I'm telling you, man, I gotta like it. I mean, I like that about him. He is pushing the envelope for his career. He ain't shy. He ain't overly doing this politeness nonsense, man. He letting it all hang out, man. So I like that in him, man. Ked Joe 2 said, top of the morning, fam, man. Top of the morning to you as well, man. Derek Hartwell says, bright and early on the West Coast. Yeah, man. I actually like at this time I can actually get some of the people from California and that stuff on the chat, man. And when I come at 8, man, there's a couple people from Cali, but I know you really can't get a whole lot of Cali people when it's 6 o'clock in the morning, man. Deuce in the building. What's going on, man? Said good fight tonight. Who you got? I got Shakur. I'm betting the matchmakers on this one. I'm betting the matchmakers. Them top-ranked matchmakers are some of the best matchmakers in the world, man. Oh, Golden Boy got some good matchmakers too. PBC's matchmakers ain't all that good. And not that I always like what the job of a matchmaker is. You know what I'm saying? However, it is a significant part of boxing, that matchmaking, and Top Rank does it well. And I'm telling you, they are not going to be putting Shakur Stevenson in there with Jamel Herring if they don't think that dude got an 80% chance of winning that fight. And I'm thinking it's closer to 90, man. But yeah, I got Shakur, man. But you know, man, BFTB had me second guessing it, man. Had me second guessing myself, like having me say maybe I need to do a little bit more solid research on it, you know? Because people keep talking about how Shakur Stevenson didn't do well in his last fight. But I knew the dude he's fighting, man, that dude can hit. That dude was a very dangerous. He wasn't the most skilled fighter in the world, but he's very dangerous, dog. Like that African cat was coming off like 10, 11 straight knockouts, dude. That dude will lay you out. That dude will lay you out, you know? He had legit power. He has legit power at 130, man. That African dude he fought. So it makes sense to me that he may stay away from a little of that, you know, and just win on a decision, man. But I got to go back and look at that fight, man. Gregory Green in the building said, yes, sir. Love it. Who you got? I think Shakur going to stop him by 11. I think it's going to go to distance, man. I think it's going to go to the distance. I don't see a knockout. KB Hobb Productions in the building said, what's good with it? I'm chilling, man. Saturday morning, talking boxing. The day before a fight, more than likely I'm going to call a fight tonight. More than likely I'm going to call a fight. It just depends on what time my wife's plane gets in, man. The real Dino Wells said, have you seen the documentary When the Bell Rings? No, I have not, man. I have not watched a boxing documentary in a while. Have not done it, man. Haven't done it. People kept telling me to watch the Ali, like the new Ali one, but that was done by the Ali documentary and how good it was. But I was like, man, I've seen so many Ali documentaries. I mean, I cannot possibly, I don't know how in the world I can learn anything new in it. And if it is, it's going to be a little tidbit, man. I've been an Ali fan like my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole life. So I didn't check, but eventually I guess I'll check it out, man. I'm more like, I need to get some stuff because I focus on boxing so much during the daytime, right? Like doing videos and doing live streams on it, man. I got a website that I'm kicking off, you know, where I'm going to do like actually, you know, do the boxing journal, the writing and all that stuff. So, you know, my breaks are usually like watching South Park, which is, dog, I watched almost 24 seasons of South Parks over the last couple months, man. And let me assure you this, that shit is a sick ass show, man. Like them dudes that made that show ain't quite right in the dome, man. Very, very obsessed with homosexuality. Like very obsessed with it. I'm like, dude, damn, every other show you doing this crap? Anyway, Black Fonz in the building said, what's up, champ? Good morning, good people, man. Good. What's up? What's good with you, man? I am H. Mickens in the building. So what's good, fam? Thanks for always bringing the heat and the facts. I appreciate you. Hey, man, it's always that's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to talk boxing with y'all, man. CG Cap said, I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. I don't think Shakur is going to have it as easy as he thinks. Man, I don't know, man. It looked like pretty straightforward to me. But I went and I watched some Jamel Herring highlights so I could see what Jamel Herring is working with. And his highlight, you know, he's a good counterpuncher, catching people on counter shots, man. Definitely a dig to the body. Definitely got a lot of heart. And he's very, very tall. It looks like he's very big. Looks like he's a big guy for that weight class. People were kind of hot that I said he looked drained, though. Like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. The dude looked drained to me. Looked a little bit drained to me. Not too bad. You know what I mean? He said, stop watching South Park years ago. Yeah, man, I watch it because, dude, seriously, man, I just need something to distract myself. And I just kind of got it stuck on automatic because I was like, man, let me watch a season of this to see how they, like, develop storylines and all that, man. They just very, very obsessed with that stuff, man. BFTB has a good argument about the fight today. Yeah, he does, man. BFTB always got good arguments, man. Always good arguments. Always solidly thinks it out. You know what I mean? But I just, you know, for me, I don't remember the dude that he was debating with or talking to, what his name is. But I'm just I'm telling you my logic behind it. My logic is the way that Top Rank operates. Top Rank operates in a manner where they do not get rid of their young fighters. They're not throwing, I don't believe they would throw Shakur Stevenson into a fight that they didn't think Shakur Stevenson could win. And that Jamel Herring, I think, is somebody that it does not have like really big star, like, you know, real big star potential necessarily. So I think that they wouldn't put Shakur Stevenson in there with him for a championship unless they were pretty sure the dude was going to win, man. That's my take on it. So I'm like, what does Top Rank know for them to make this fight? Because as you know, neither one of them got that Oscar Valdez fight. He could have went to Oscar Valdez. but he didn't go to Oscar Valdez, right? And Oscar Valdez is the guy I think that they're really trying to build over there. But yeah, he had a definitely Viva Tu Vidi, a definitely very good argument. I didn't listen to all of it, but I listened to a good amount of it. And I always respect what BFTB has to say. He thinks his stuff out very thoroughly. More thoroughly than me. Because I will throw an eye test on you in a heartbeat and just look and say, I don't think that's a special fighter. I don't. And I don't really go off of a guy having one tough fight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. had a tough fight. It didn't look all that good against Jose Luis Castillo the first time. You know, that didn't stop him from being a great fighter. He had a difficult fight. He had a difficult fight with what's my man's name? Emmanuel Augustus, the Drunken Master. Now he wound up getting a stoppage, but he had a difficult fight with him. You know what I mean? It's a difficult fight. And you wouldn't think that a guy that would have problems with Emmanuel Augustus would go up several weight classes and dominate up several weight classes and have a career like him. You know, a guy can have an off night, or there can be an opponent that is particularly troublesome for him, and you know, just kind of looks off a little bit. You know what I mean? And that guy, I'm telling you, was a bit of a ringer because he was coming off 10 straight knockouts. Now, he had never fought out of Africa before, so maybe, you know, he never, you know, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. My man, Larry Ibrahim, what's going on, man? Larry Ibrahim Smith says, salute, Mr. Blackwell. Riley know he had a loss coming soon, so he better get this payday while he got some buzz. Exactly. Go ahead and show your ass and get a payday, dog, like a $2 prostitute. Show your ass, shake your ass in the camera so you can get you a payday, homie. Like, man, Riley, I just can't see it, man. I just can't see it, homie. I can't see it at all, man. CG Cap said, Top Rank, say what you want about them, but they're the most button up with the match. They're the most button up with the matchmaking and pricing fights. Yeah. Dude, honestly, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I was hard on Top Rank. Top Rank's had a good year, man. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Top Rank had a good year, man. Top Rank has had a good year, man. A very good year. And as far as making fights. Now, with Valdez getting caught and letting that slip, I ain't a big fan of that. But you know, they had the Terrence Crawford. They got the Terrence Crawford Sean Porter fight made. They've got the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. This Shakur Stevenson fight versus Jamel Herring is a good fight. They've had a pretty good year, man. No joke. They've had a good year, man. I got to go back and look at the PBC's had a good year too. Matchroom and Golden Boy are flunking. And Bob Arum ain't stupid. Bob Arum said some stuff that made me know, man, we about to get more of that PBC top rank matchups. Bob Arum is a lot of things. Dumb ain't one of them, man. You don't survive till you 9,000 years old being stupid. And he said the other day that he was like, look, man, we Top Rank and PBC have come to the conclusion that it makes a lot more sense to work together than to have a cold war with each other. Because, yeah, dog, as if that's another network you can use. You got 3 networks when they work together. They got Fox, they have Showtime, Fox, Showtime, and ESPN. And Top Rank's got a good stable of fighters, man. But remember when Matchroom was talking about how they had the best stable in boxing? The best stable, man, get out of yonder. I can't wait till they go. That's me though. Nah, y'all said, let's have another great broadcast. Yeah, man. Hey, man, let me know what you want to talk about, man. We'll have a good one. Trey Boy 89 in the building. What's going on, man? How you feeling today? How you feeling? Where's my man? Let me get these questions. Man, hit me with some questions today, man. Gregory Green said, hey, Fannon, what round you think Tank gonna stop Riley? Give me around round 6. Round 6, I could give you a range from round 6 to round 9. Somewhere between round 6 and round 9. Riley going to be running around throwing a bunch of winging ass punches in round 1 and round 2. Around 3, he going to start gassing a little bit. Once he starts gassing a little bit, Gervonta is going to step a little bit closer to him and start hitting him with some Wally. It's gonna start wearing out on him. And then after that, when Riley gets a little bit, his eyes get bruised up, and he starts to feel like, damn, I can't touch this guy. He's gonna get frustrated, and when he starts getting frustrated, he's gonna start winging even more, and he's gonna get knocked out. And honestly, man, Riley, I don't know if Riley's got a chin. Riley might get just one hitter quitter. I don't know, man. I hope Tank can show a different size to himself and walk in on him. And I mean, it'd be crazy if you just walked him down. You know what I mean? That which is a possibility. Mike Williams in the building, man. Damon Black said, oh, I got that. He said, I stopped watching South Park a year ago, man. Yeah, them dudes obsessed with that sweetie pie shit, man. Laz the Punch Out TV said, what's poppin', Fannon, brother? Hey, man, just chilling, man, having a good old time, man. On talking boxing with you guys this morning. The highlight of my day, without a doubt. Viva 2 Vita said, I respect you and BFTB boxing opinion and knowledge. Yeah, man, absolutely. That's my dude, BFTB, man. All day, man. All day. I liked him. He had been around a while. I like to think I discovered BFTB. Well, everybody, when I discovered BFTB for myself, I was like, man, I like that dude because he brings a lot of heat. He said he talked to people like I want to talk to people, but I ain't. But that ain't in me, man. Davion Bible in that super chat. Oh man, let me get my gong going for my super chat, man. He said, "Good morning, Mr. Blackwell. Am I wrong thinking Tank gonna hit Riley with a Debo Friday uppercut? Hell yeah, oh, man, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong at all, man. You are not wrong at all, man. But maybe, dude. But he may bring that. He said he's bringing that street fighting in there. He don't care about pure boxing. He cares about that street fighting, that karate boxing combination. Like, man, you okay? All right, dog. Man, Laz the Punch Out TV. We said Riley getting beat up big time. Yeah, man, he gonna get beat up, man. Honestly, man, I just wonder if he can really give him that Bernard Hopkins type of beat down. That's what I want to see. Because I don't like Riley. Riley is just, it's too much with Riley. It's too much, man. Like, you're overselling it. I know he's like talking about, man, he gets hit by everybody. He gets hit by everybody. Like, man, Tank ain't getting hit by everybody like that now. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the same fights. He's like, he cries, he jumps out of the ring when he gets hit. Like, if he's getting his will, he'll quit in sparring. And man, y'all stop with them cornball ass arguments, man. All of them dudes, man. All of them, that lightweight group of cats. Bevo Boxing in the building said, is Bud really pound for pound best over Gary Russell? I don't see it. Crawford gets hit a lot. Damn, that's a good point, man. He don't get the marketing. And I would say that Gary, I think that Gary needs to beat somebody of a significant name in this time frame. Now, if JoJo Diaz beats Devin Haney, which I don't see happening, but if JoJo Diaz beats Devin Haney, then you might want to throw that boy up there because Devin Haney, because JoJo Diaz is leftover food from Gary Russell Jr., which nobody seems to talk about. When they say he never fights, he hasn't fought anybody. Well, he just beat JoJo Diaz a couple fights ago. He beat King Tug, and King Tug ain't no lightweight fighter, man. He's not a lightweight, man. I guess I should fix where I say that, not a lightweight, because they're junior lightweights. Texas Made the Realist said, what's good for nine? Talking that boxing is my alarm clock. That's what's up, man. Coach Calvin, Black Fines. Coach Calvin says he wants Tank to beat Rolly up for 12 rounds. What he said was, he says that power goes for 12 rounds. He said that, but he said we don't train for knockouts. We don't train for knockouts. And you're going to realize that power goes 12 rounds. And that's going to be a lot of time to be winging them shots, Mr. Muscle Man. That's going to be a long time throwing all them shots, homie. And yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yes, I agree with him 100%, man. Joseph Lewis said, Riley's show was big. I think he needs to give Frankenstein back his shoes. Hey, he's like, man, what are the big ass shoes you got on? The fashion sense. overdoes it with the fashion, man. You know, but he's trying to shine, man. He's trying to shine. You know, he's trying to shine. I can't help him, man. A damn mess. He said, a damn mess. Al Heyman really don't care about Gary Russell Jr. career. I don't know, man. I can't say, man. I can't say. You know, I hear things, and he definitely ain't going out of his way to get him somebody. But those guys at 126 ain't really trying to fight him, man. And Gary Russell Jr. is getting $1 million a fight, man. Gary Russell Jr. is very comfortable. You know what I mean? And there may be a little, Terrence Crawford mentality in him. Like, dude, he's getting paid. You know what I'm saying? He's getting paid. And he's like, look, man, I'm not going to wear my body out fighting bums. You know, give me my mandatory. I'm going to meet my mandatory requirement, beat this dude up, and then say, hey, man, when you give me a big money fight, I'm going to be fresh and I'm going to be ready for it. That could very well be the mentality that he has about it. And on the real, though, there's not a lot of guys that are big names at 126, but the guys that have been at 126, that none of them want to fight him. And that's why I kind of I can't tell a guy to lead a weight class, because you go to the weight class, he's going to go to 130, and the 130 pounders aren't going to fight him. You know, I think he can beat Jamel. Now, whether or not he can beat Jamel Herring would be interesting, because Jamel Herring is so big. You know, that's so big compared to Gary Russell Jr., man. But you know what I mean? And I appreciate y'all with that support, man. Kimber say, Fannon, Russell needs to run it back with Lomo, put the call on, make that happen, man. That shit is never going to happen, man. Man, Lomachenko is at 135 pounds, and he's looking for Devin Haney, or looking for Gary Russell, Teofimo Lopez, and looking to get those belts back at 135, which I think he's going to do. I'm telling you, man, these dudes, it's going to be funny to see if these guys go pop, man. Like, if Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia, man, they do a lot of talking. Like, a lot of it. You would swear to God these dudes was already, had cemented their legacy. But actually, man, Devin Haney don't really talk like that. He talking about trying to get the fights. So I ain't got a problem with Devin Haney saying he wants to fight. Teofimo Lopez acts like he's already the best fight. Like, he already acts. They put him on that pound for pound list, and he's taking that shit to heart, man. You know, he takes that shit to heart, man. That pound for pound list is a mythic. That shit is an opinion. Okay, that is a consensus opinion, like Dan Rayfield said to me one day. It's the consensus opinion, man. Consensus of who? You know what I'm saying? Consensus of who? And then he blocked me. Dan Rayfield didn't want that smoke. He can really write well, but Dan didn't want that smoke, man. The world is yours. You a hater on Teofimo. Am I? Are you sure about that? What do you mean by that? Can you expand on that? What have I done to be a hater of Teofimo Lopez? When have and I'm waiting for your response. The world is yours. Please let me know what I've done to be a hater of Teofimo Lopez. Am I a racist? And I just don't like any Latinos like a whole bunch of you clowns think? Or don't even think, you just say it so that you can muddy the water. Or what does it mean? Can you expand on your ignorant statement? Because there's nothing substantive in that statement. Nothing. Nothing to judge you by. Nothing. Nothing. I don't know what you mean. You're a hater on Teofimo Lopez. What do you mean exactly? How am I hating on him? Said, damn, what happened to Tevin Farmer? Tevin Farmer got them checks. Bevo said, Fannon, I thought you were Spanish. Hell to the no. I am Negro. 100, well, not 100%, but the majority Negro. Majority Negro. My genes are majority Negro. Put it that way. Where's because they're dumb. They just want you to be a rah-rah fan of Teofimo Lopez. And who knows, he may work for Teofimo. They like to muddy the water, dog. And always, you're a hater. Like, man, I remember these guys called me a Devin Haney hater. I had this video one time. True story. True story. I was listening to a live stream, and there was somebody from Devin Haney's camp on the live stream. I super chat on the live stream, and the person from Devin Haney's camp says, "Hey, you are a hater." And I'm like, really? I'm a hater. I had literally just got done doing a video about Devin Haney, saying that Devin Haney was getting ducked and he's one of the best young fighters coming up in boxing. Literally had just released that shit. See, you can say, Max Jamel said, you're a yellow bone. I don't know, man. It depends, man. That's all opinion, man. You know what I mean? That's opinion. To my wife was like, never understood that shit until we moved somewhere away from Louisiana. Once I got out of Louisiana, she's like, oh, I get it. Like, yeah, because I told her, it's like, man, people all my life had said I was light-skinned, but my wife is Creole. So I ain't light-skinned for no Creole, right? For the light-skinned black people, I'm not light-skinned black people, light-skinned to light-skinned black people. The real light-skinned black people. I'm brown-skinned to the real light-skinned black people. I'm light-skinned to the dark-skinned black people. You know what I'm saying? To dark-skinned black people, I'm light-skinned. To light-skinned black people, I'm brown-skinned. Or could be dark-skinned, depending on which one, exactly how paled out they are, man. You know what I mean? But nah, man, I'm a black American, man, from Chicago, homie. You know what I mean? Fannon, if you ever stop this channel, I'm coming to your house with smoke. Never stop doing your best. You killing these haters, dog. Keep it up. Great work. We love you, man. Thank you, man. That shit means a lot, dog. I'm trying to tell you. It really does, man. Kimber 4509 said, Tiafimo is good, but he changes fight dates more than the Kardashians change boyfriends. Yeah, man. He's seriously, man. He proved that that he's a top-notch fighter. He did. But he didn't take over the world, man. You're like, dude, honestly, Tiafimo is like, it's not like he's where Terrence Crawford is. It's not like he's where Errol Spence Jr. is. You know, it's like you've not done enough in your career to be on the level of Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is fighting person after person after person. You got a shot. And by the way, that Richard Comey shit, get out of here with Richard Comey. Richard Comey had already lost to Robert Easter Jr. I don't believe it. Richard Comey beat Ray Beltran, and Ray Beltran was so far over the what do you call it? Over the water? What is it? Over the hill? Man, Beltran was way over the hill when Richard Comey beat him, man. And Richard Comey is a good fighter, but highly overrated, dog. Highly overrated. He beat Vasily Lomachenko by the hair of his chinny chin chin. That's his accomplishment. Can we get another accomplishment? Is all I'm saying. Without you acting, it's a takeover. I'm the best in the man. Stop. Him and Riley both on that shit. Riley ain't done shit though. You know what I mean? Riley ain't done nothing. Riley, I'm 14 fights. I got all these knockouts. I got 14 fights. Man, you got 14 fights. Thank you very much. You got 14 fights. Thank you. 14. You're about to get beat up, homie. You know what I'm saying? Where are you gonna be at 16? It's the same attitude that people would have for what's his name? For Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has 16 fights. He's unified champion in 16 fights. Look at, okay, and I said it then. Talk to me when he gets to 30, and we'll see. Since you think getting it at 16 fights means that he's this all-time great, let's see where he is at 30. Because I know some people that lost early in their career, like Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins didn't have all that at 16 fights. But when you get over 50 fights, man, his career sure seemed to pan out. But you get guys that get there really quick, and everybody wants to act like they're the best thing in the world, but they never make it. They never make it later in their career. And I'm telling you, if Teofimo Lopez goes to 140 pounds, loses to Josh Taylor, and then keeps fighting, loses to somebody else, ain't nobody going to think of that dude's going to weigh his career on the fact that he beat Teofimo Lopez. You're going to have to beat a bunch of people to be considered a great fighter. It's just what it is. Beating one guy does not make you a great fighter. And that's what I say about Teofimo Lopez. And not beating any great fighters doesn't make you a great fighter. And that's just the truth. Devin Haney ain't beat any great fighters. Not a single one. Teofimo Lopez has beaten one. Ryan Garcia has beaten 0. Riley Romero has beaten 0. You know what I mean? 0. 0. I think Gervonta Davis has beaten 2 very good fighters. You don't got to beat great fighters. Let me back that off. Very good fighters. Gervonta Davis has beaten 2. I think that's why I say I think he needs to fight those guys in that weight class. Lopez will lose to Tank, Russell, and Haney. He'll never fight any of them dudes, man. 5 West said, Fannon, you out of Texas now? Yeah, man, I've been out of Texas for like the last 3 years, man. So glad we made that move, man. So glad I made that move. You know, with minor hiccup, man, with minor hiccup, Texas has been great, man. Max Schmeling said, Fannon, what do you think about Ryan Garcia busting his hand? He is smiling too much and has done nothing since his last fight. I don't think he is worthy to talk about in the same sense of the. Yeah, he's not ready. Even Oscar De La Hoya said he ain't ready. He's not ready yet, man. He's not. He's a prospect. Ryan Garcia is a prospect that's got a lot of Twitter followers. That's it, man. And dog, you can buy Twitter followers, okay? You can buy them. You can buy them, homie. All right, ain't none of these dudes superstars, man. Not near one of them homies are. The closest thing is Tank, dog. Tank is the closest one, man. Can you dig it? Yigit isn't a great fighter. Who beat Yigit, man? Who beat Yigit? Man, who beat Yigit? Who beat Yigit? God dog, who beat Yigit? Damn, who beat Yigit, man? Who beat Yigit? It wasn't. Oh, it was Riley Romero beat Yigit. Hell no. Hell no. Can you dig it, Yigit? But he's a fighter now. But he is a fighter, dog. But nah, man. Can you dig it, Yigit? Man, I ain't trying to hear nothing about no can you dig it, Yigit. How many has Shakur beat? None. Shakur's not running around. Shakur ain't running around talking about he's a superstar, though. I have not heard Shakur Stevenson say he's some superstar. Not heard it, man. I heard he said he can beat these guys. I have not heard him run around talking about he's this big star and how people need to what people need to do to fight him and all that, man. No. Only thing that Shakur Stevenson has been saying, man, is that he is a good fight. He's talking about how good a fighter he is, man. I ain't heard him talking none of that crazy shit that Teofimo Lopez be talking. I ain't heard none of that out of his lips. If I heard it out of his lips, I'd say something. No joke, man. But hey, you know what some other funny stuff is? Olaz the Punch Out TV, let me back out and said, Fannon, fair play to Riley. At least he didn't duck Tank Davis like Ryan did, bro. Yeah, that's right. But he ain't got nothing to lose, dog. Ryan got something to lose. Riley ain't got nothing to lose, man. Riley ain't got nothing to lose, dog. Nothing to lose. You know what I mean? It's like Luis Ortiz fighting Deontay Wilder. Nothing to lose. Not that Riley Romero is Luis Ortiz. But I'm saying he got nothing to lose, man. Nothing to lose at all, man. Nothing. So of course he's gonna take that fight. He's getting a big payday, man. And he's with Mayweather Promotions, so you know he ain't got nothing. You gonna fight this dude. We like this. Let's make this fight right now. Let's make a big fight, get this money. That's what they on, man. They on there, get that money time. And I ain't got no problem about it, man. Yeah, man, exactly, dude. That's my thing. Lopez is a queen diva. And he's a diva. That's my take on it, man. As a man is a diva, man. He said, why does everyone get on Devin's resume when Ryan's resume is worse? Dude, they get on Devin's resume because they're trying to make an excuse for their fighter ducking him. That's it. Dude, there's no need to talk about Devin Haney's resume. Absolutely none. He's got the WBC belt. That's on his resume. Right there, that championship belt. If you fighting for championships, he's the champion, man. He is the champion. Fight the champion. These guys, if you don't want to fight the champion, there's something wrong with you, not the champion. All right? And Teofimo Lopez ain't the champ. Teofimo Lopez is a champion. He's the WBO champion. He's the WBA champion. He's the IBF champion. But he's not the WBC. He's the WBC. He's franchised by the WBC for some crazy reason. Like, why would you franchise this dude? He is not a star. Anyway, not like that. Neither was Lomachenko. And his name ain't even as developed as Lomachenko's name. But Devin Haney don't need to. Anybody talking about Devin Haney's resume is somebody's trying to make an excuse for somebody not fighting Devin Haney. Devin Haney's resume is just fine. He's the WBC champion. That's the only thing that you need as far as their resume. You know what I mean? He's the WBC champion. That's his resume. That's the part of his resume that matters. Do you want to be a champion or do you not want to be the champion? And that franchise belt that's hanging out there is a big excuse. It's a big excuse not to fight the champion because there's some question about who the champion is, and that's on Mauricio Sulaiman and that dumb shit he did, man. That's just, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't no great fighter. There's only a few great fighters in boxing right now. Only a few. Only a few great fighters. A few. And not very many of them at all, really, that I think. I think Terrence Crawford's a great fighter. I think Errol Spence Jr. is a great fighter. I think Deontay Wilder's a great fighter in his own way. Like, as in, you better have something special or you're going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But those two are, I think those two are great fighters. I think Gary Russell Jr. is a great fighter. Lomachenko's a great fighter. Canelo Alvarez, knock on steroids, is a great fighter. Whole bunch of these dudes are not proven fighters, though, man. Weird TV. You're a liar, Weird TV. I've never heard you say one good thing about T.O. Stop acting all crazy. Why do people think I hate T.O.? All I do is talk about negatives around his name. Dumbass. That's not true. Ask me to say something good about, I will tell you what I say good about Teofimo Lopez. That Teofimo Lopez is the #1 lightweight. And he has a legitimate win over a great fighter. And he is a very good fighter that has a chance to beat any of those guys that we're talking about. Is that something positive about Teofimo Lopez? Or would you like me to grab me a phallic symbol and start going to town on it? Look, man, I do not have to agree with everything. I do not have to agree with everything that pours out of Teofimo Lopez's pie hole. Okay? I don't. Teofimo Lopez says he's going to fight Devin Haney. Then he says he's not going to fight Devin Haney. At the same time. Yeah, I'll fight you. Why didn't you show up to me? I'm moving up to fight Teofimo. I only got one more fight at lightweight. Then I'm going to 135. Then I'm going to 140. Which one is it? Which one is it? Now, that's the good thing that I said about Teofimo Lopez. That Teofimo Lopez is without a doubt the #1 lightweight. Is that good? Yes, it is. Teofimo Lopez has a legitimate win against a great fighter, a future Hall of Famer in Lomachenko. Is that a good thing? Yes, that is a good thing. Is he acting like he wants to fight Devin Haney to be an undisputed champion? No, he is not. That is also a fact. You never say anything good about him. Man, stop crying. You don't listen enough. You too busy out there complaining about the things that you don't agree with. Oh, and laughing. You can laugh if you don't think Gary Russell Jr. is a great fighter. Cool. I can't wait for you to show me somebody that can beat him. Guillermo Rigondeaux is a great fighter. You gonna laugh at that too? What does Guillermo Rigondeaux got that Gary Russell doesn't have. They're both great fighters. Great fighters. Not good fighters, great fighters. I think. But if you think what? You think he's not? You know what I'm saying? You think he's not a good fighter? Justify it. Other than saying, hey, he doesn't fight enough. Okay, Gary O. Okay, I mean, dog, I'm trying to tell you, I don't miss a lot of fight calls, man. Y'all talk a lot of shit about my opinion, but I can't wait till y'all wake up and keep telling me how many calls I miss. Gary Russell Jr. beat Jojo Diaz easily. Jojo Diaz is now a lightweight, has the potential to be a lightweight champion. Jojo Diaz has a chance to beat Devin Haney. If Jojo Diaz beats Devin Haney, what does that say about Gary Russell Jr.? If all y'all trying to, if he can win an IBF belt by beating Tevin Farmer, move up and become one of the top lightweights, Jojo Diaz, what does that say about the guy that beat him down at 126 pounds and beat him very, very easily? Does that not count? Gary Russell Jr.'s win. Gary Russell Jr. had dropped Vasily Lomachenko. Dropped him. Does that not mean anything? The good fight, the legitimately good fight that he gave with Lomachenko, who was significantly bigger than him, is a two-time Olympic gold medalist. Dog, that was no blowout fight between Gary Russell Jr. and Vasily Lomachenko like it was with everybody else and Vasily Lomachenko. Gary don't get any credit for that. For putting up that type of fight against a prime, no shoulder injuries, none of that. None of that. Still put up a fight with him. Still got the call on one card, or at least he got a draw on a card. Massively undersized against the man. Nothing for Gary on that, huh? Nothing for Gary for the fact that Leo Santa Cruz ducked him. Carl Frampton ducked him. Nothing. Josh Warrington ducked him. Now you got Abner Mares ducked him. All these other fighters that people were saying were really good fighters couldn't find a way to get in there with Gary Russell Jr. no matter how much Gary Russell Jr. called him out. Wanted the fight. Y'all just make excuses for that, huh? Or am I just, confused? Which is what gets me about all that Devin Haney stuff. And ain't no different situation. Gary Russell Jr. is easily as ducked as Devin Haney is. Easily, if not more so. Anyway, though. Lennox Lyons said, I hate people when they call them the Four Kings. Man, they like the Four Squires. Man, they need to go out there and fight each other, man. What is that? Teofimo just has great power in my eyes. Can he move in the ring? Yes, he can, but he lacks a lot in order to be seen as a true champ. I mean, he's a true champion. Don't discredit him like that. He's definitely a true champion, man. Without a doubt, he's a true champion. He's a champion. Teofimo Lopez is a champion. Devin Haney is a champion. They're both champions. Ryan Garcia is not a champion. I'm not now. If you thought I was disrespecting people, I'd be calling people email champs and all that shit that other people call. I don't buy into that stuff. These guys being email champs or what have you. You know what I mean? I say Gary got to get a better promo team. No, I mean, dog. Why? Not for me. He don't need a better promo team for me. I watch his fights, man. All that promo team crap is what's keeping people from fighting. In large part because they believe all this shit. Like, I mean, all these guys go to internet channels and create relationships with internet YouTube channels so that those internet YouTube channels can talk about them and push their name. You know what I mean? To the exclusion of other people. But the problem is that ain't getting anybody any closer to any fights. The fight would be more likely to happen if nobody ever talked about any of them on the real. You know what I mean? If nobody talks about any of them, we might actually get a chance to get the fights and see good fights. But then people would turn around and say, oh, well, who did he fight? Who did he fight? He only beat Teofimo Lopez only beat Devin Haney. Who's this Devin Haney? Never heard of him. You know, Devin Haney would beat Teofimo Lopez. Who's this Teofimo Lopez guy? Never heard of him. You know, that's a nobody. Dumbasses. Anyway, sorry about that, man. Oh, man, dude, Deontay Wilder's going to the Hall of Fame. Going to the Hall of Fame, Holmes. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, homie. Going to the Hall of Fame, dog. So they can say what they want. He going to the Hall of Fame, man. You cannot go. You cannot have all that and not go to the Hall of Fame. At the end of the day, those writers are gonna. Those writers have they have a degree of common sense, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get a guy with 42 wins, and 40 knockouts, and they're not gonna go to the Hall of Fame. Carry a title for 5 years, 10 title defenses, man. Come on. When you guys got less people that have done objectively less, you know what I mean? Anthony Ortiz, who you got, Teofimo Lopez or Haney? I think it's a 50-50 fight. I can't tell you. 50-50, man. 50-50 fight, man. I ain't big. 50-50 fight. Depends. If Devin Haney doesn't have a chin, he's got a chance to get knocked out. Because that's what Teofimo Lopez brings to the table. Teofimo Lopez will knock you sideways. Right? So, I mean, literally, like, he's one of those guys that have enough power, really do have enough power to make your body shut off. You know? Like, he can make your body shut off. So, if Devin Haney slips up, yeah, man, Teofimo Lopez can knock him out. On the other side of it, Devin Haney is not very easy to hit. And Devin Haney will get in and get out and score points and all of that good stuff. So I think that Devin Haney has a very good chance of making it go on decision, you know? So I think it's like, I don't know which way that fight would go. I would love to see the fight. Love to see the fight. Davion Bible said, I forgot to mention that Raleigh is the only Cuban I've ever seen with little or to no skills. Speaking of Cubans, Ugas deserves the arrow fight. Did Riley Romero didn't grow up in Cuba? He's Cuban descent, right? He didn't grow up in the Cuban national. He didn't grow up in the Cuban amateurs. He grew up here. You can tell by how he speaks. He's Cuban. He's Cuban. He's Cuban like I'm Cuban. Like my family's Cuban. He's Cuban like that. Like those guys are Cuban. Like my sister's family is Cuban. Like my sister's sons are Cuban. They ain't growing up in Cuba like my brother-in-law grew up in Cuba. You know what I mean? So he's not, Cuba, He's what you call, if he's a Cuban in America, he a Cuban in America. If he ain't from Miami, he's what you call mixed. You know what I'm saying? He's what you call mixed, you know? Lopez can't hit Haney. Well, I mean, we'll see if they make the fight. We'll see if they make the fight, man. Honestly, man. I think they all 30% cap in what you say. And I'm so sick of people calling people cap. Like, man, will you stop that shit? Like, everybody got to be lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, you cap. This guy's cap. He's cap. Man, just fuck. You're a liar. He's a liar. You're a liar. He's a liar. Man, shut the fuck up and fight. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. That's all I can say, man. Max Selmy says, since you said that about Cubans, don't ever say you are African. Dumbass. Half of those Cubans are, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you think Rigondeaux is? What is Guillermo Rigondeaux? What is Luis Ortiz? What is Erislandy Lara? What is Telefino Stevenson? Those are Africans. Big time Africans. What do you mean? They're black people in Cuba. They're black people in Cuba. They are black people in Cuba. Is that tough? Is that tough? Is it tough? Stop, man, seriously, man. Stop all that dumb shit. That's literally ridiculous. Okay? Dominicans are African. Puerto Ricans are African. Brazilians are African. They got a whole Australian Aborigines are African. Okay? They got Africans. They got Africans for days, dog, since I said that about Cuban. I said the man was mixed. Anyway, leave me alone about all that, man. Everybody started in Africa. Yes, blacks everywhere. And I mean, just, come on, man. Darian Griffith said, Cuba equals same bus, different stop. Exactly. Same bus, different stop. Same, different boat. You know what I'm saying? People, different boat. Or same boat, earlier stop, like you said, man. But anyway, man, it is what it is, man. I don't care. I'm black, and I don't got no say-so in it. Been black my whole life. I don't get that. Why cats got my whole black, dog. I've been black my whole life. Don't get that shit. Never got it. But there's a bunch of people want to act like they're not. You know what I mean? And no difference than black people that walk around acting like they're not when you know they black. You know what I mean? Or act like they're not if they can get away with it. Whole bunch of people do that, man. But anyway, man. Damn mess said the only people that gave him a shot or a chance, Gary, Devin, Boots, and any other black Cuban fighters have to fight each other because most champs from other races making excuses. Not everybody. Yo, yeah, I don't have any problem debating. Y'all about whatever, man. You know what I mean? It's just silly, honestly. It's a silly conversation, man. It's a silly conversation, man. Really, it is. Like, from my perspective, it's a silly conversation. I've heard black people talk about light-skinned black people as if they're not black. Just dog them left, right, front, and center. Like, man, these dudes they're black. You don't get a say-so. Just because Keith Thurman looks like Keith Thurman looks doesn't mean that you get the right to say that he's not black. And in fact, it's quite fucking offensive, especially when you don't know what they're going through. You know what I mean? It's like, leave people alone with all that shit, man. I don't get to tell people who's black and who ain't black. You know what I mean? Or who's black and who ain't black. I'm blacker than you and all that dumb shit, man. Just leave me the fuck alone, man. Every white person I've ever walked to in the United States was pretty damn clear about what I was. Only time anybody ever got confused is when I got a mask on and I go in there to an Indian doctor and I've not said anything yet. Then the Indian doctor may ask, are you African American? He damn sure don't act if I'm Swedish, okay? That's the only time that happens, dog. And that's only when I lost my hair. Because when you see this come up on the head, nobody ever questioned it. Anyway, Laws the Punch Out. Do you think Conor Benn is a hype job? Because I do. Absolutely, Conor Benn is a hype job. Absolutely, Conor Benn is a hype job, dude. That's why he's calling out Adrian, and Conor Benn knows he's one. That's why he's spending his time calling out Adrian Bronner. He's spending his time calling out Adrian Bronner. If that's not hype job type, if that's not some hype job type stuff, I don't know what is, man. You know what I mean? AJ said, if you got melanin, you're black. Yeah, pretty much, man. It is what it is, though, man. On the real, man, I just think the whole conversation, I find the whole conversation kind of like whatever-ish, man. You know what I mean? Lennox Lyons said, Lennox Lewis was the last to hold the undisputed title. Anything can happen in the heavyweight division. I agree with that. And that's why I think that there is no lineal champion. That whole lineal champion shit is trash to me. It's trash because nobody beat Lennox Lewis. If Usyk fights him and we get a winner, then yeah, man, then I'm down with it. Then you can say the winner of that fight is the champion. He's the only champion, and you could have a new lineal or a new line coming off of that, you know. But I doubt very much that they make that fight, man. That's my opinion. Like, Tyson Fury's already talking about retiring, right? And everybody's acting as if, you know, it's some foregone conclusion that he's going to beat Alexander Usyk. And I like what Alexander Usyk had to say. Alexander Usyk was like, look, man, no. I'm not acting like, I don't think he's the king of kings. I'm very capable of beating that guy. Usyk is very straight about it. Like, look, man, I know I can beat that dude. So make the fight, man. Don't be acting like this is all over with. And the Tyson Fury, that's how they're going to do Alexander Usyk. Like, oh, we don't need it. We don't need it. What we need is Dillian White and Tyson Fury. And after that's over, all we need, I'm telling you, after after Tyson Fury drops that belt, then the real champion is going to be whatever British guy gets his hands on that belt, if they do. You know what I mean? Charles Stevens said, been a boxing fan since the 1950s. I've never seen as much ducking as it is now. Man, all these champions got everything spread out. So I don't know what anybody else is. I mean, that's about the only way to go on it, man. You know, it's about the only way to go on it is ducking, because there ain't nothing else. I mean, there's so many belts divided that you don't ever have to fight anybody. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me. That's the Gary Russell Jr. thing at 126 for me. Those guys are ducking Gary Russell Jr., man. And everybody talks about he's only fought every blue moon. Like, dude, if he fought twice a year, you'd come up with another excuse for why not. Oh, he was busy fighting somebody. He had already had a fight announced, or whatever reason. Dude, the inactivity is not a reason not to fight the guy. And he's not that inactive. He's fighting every year. Inactive is somebody like Keith Thurman, who hasn't fought in 2 years, or Tyson Fury, who hadn't fought in 2.5 years. Something like that. When guys go inactive like that, not guys that he's only fought once a year. Well, he's got a mandatory obligation once a year. That's the rule. And then he's got a voluntary. And if you guys don't want to voluntarily fight him, what's he supposed to do? And it's not like he didn't ask for the Leo Santa Cruz fight. Steve Taylor said, Fannon, you're right. Jamel looked drained. He did to me. Now, here's the thing, though, man. It's like Terrence Crawford looked drained at 135 pounds for multiple fights. And that's to the guys that want to get on me like, anytime you're not giving fellatio to somebody, you're hating on them, right? Like, oh, you're hating on Jamel. Man, I ain't hating on Jamel. The dude looked sucked. He looked sucked dry. Literally, dude, you can see every muscle in that dude's body. He looked completely sucked of water. That's what he looked like to me. And I doubt very much he's that cut when he gets into the ring tomorrow. Into the ring tonight. Unlike Shakur Stevenson, who didn't look like that. I mean, Shakur Stevenson had to cut weight to weigh in, but he didn't look. Shakur Stevenson, you couldn't see every muscle flex in his forehead. I mean, dude, you could really see, like when Jamel Herring chewed, you could literally see muscles up in here moving around. He just looked very, very thin, man, to me. But Cass is like, hey, whatever, man. Jamel looks the same in every fight. Drained? If that's what it is, he looks drained then. He looked drained. If you want to say he looks drained every fight, cool. But let me see something, because I'm pretty sure of something. Let me see. Was he ever at lightweight? Maybe he wasn't. But anyway, if you say he looks the same to you, cool. He looked drained to me. I'm saying he looked drained. But if he wasn't drained, okay, that's cool. That's what you think. He said Herring was actually heavier in this weigh-in than the Frampton weigh-in. What was he like? He was underweight this time. I'm just telling you what he looked like to me, man. I don't know what you want me to do. That's what the dude looked like to me. He looked painfully thin. He looked drawn. His face looked drawn in. He looked drawn. But like I said, go look at some pictures of Terrence Crawford at lightweight. Terrence Crawford was drained at lightweight. Didn't mean he wasn't winning. And he was drained at lightweight. And he looked drained at 140 pounds for several fights, man. You know? How would a Gary Russell Jr. versus Navarrete fight go if they ever fought? I think that Gary Russell Jr. would win a unanimous decision against Navarrete. I don't think Navarrete really could do much with Gary Russell Jr. He's a very, very busy fighter, and I think he's going to wind up getting countered a lot by Gary Russell Jr. And that southpaw stance ain't really going to serve him. It's not going to really serve him too well. That's my take on it. Hold on one second. Hey man, hit the like button, man. We got 300 people in the building, 142 likes, man. Hit the like button, man, if you don't mind. Who do I got, Herring or Stevenson? I got Stevenson. But I could be wrong. I'll admit that one. There's a chance for an upset. There's a chance for it, but I'm going with the odds. I'm going with Shakur Stevenson. And I think Shakur Stevenson can beat him on the outside. You can just beat him boxing on the outside. I hope it's not a fight that's overly boring or whatever, but I think he's going to be able to get him from the outside. But that southpaw matchup is going to be interesting, right? That's another thing. He says Stevenson too disrespectful. He thinks he's Tupac. I mean, dude's just kind of ghetto, man. What can I say? He thinks he's the best fighter. And maybe a little bit, man. He said maybe because he's 5'10", he looks that way. Oh, I don't know. 5'10", 129 pounds. 5'10", 129 pounds. And he don't look drawn at all, right? That's my point exactly, dog. He's 5'9". He looks a little drawn to me. You know what I mean? He looks a little drawn, but I don't know, man. Maybe you guys are from Jamel Herring's camp or something. I don't know. There's a lot of people from people's camp here. John Mayfield said, Fannon, are you doing the commentating tonight? I don't know, man. I might, man. I was thinking about doing it, but then my wife is flying back in town today. So, I don't know, man. It just depends on what time my wife's flight comes in. If my wife's flight comes in like around 7 o'clock, then I can do it. But if she comes in around 10 or something like that, I'm probably not going to be able to do it because I got to go out to the airport and pick her up. You know what I mean? Kimber 4509 said, Fannon, what happened between Ward and Stevenson? Well, I think Andre Ward can't be his manager because he calls his fights. I think he got rid of it because it was a conflict of interest. As being somebody's promotes manager and being a commentator on ESPN, I think what happened is Andre Ward committed to being a commentator on ESPN and not being the manager, not being a co-manager of Shakur Stevenson. That's what I thought happened, but I could be wrong. I don't know if there's anything that happened behind the scenes with him or not. There's nothing. I haven't really heard anything. I hadn't heard anything about that. Anything happened behind the scenes or anything like that. Kevin Mann said, let's talk about how Rolly lost to Jackson Marinez in a 12-round one-sided fight, and the judges gave it to Rolly. He's trash, and he fights like an angry kid. Hey, man, I think people said a lot about that, man. You know what I mean? Freddie Jimenez say, hey, Fannon, joined in late. Good morning, everybody. And for today's fight, I got Stevenson for the win. Yeah, I think most people do. Have that being the situation. I definitely got to be in the situation. Kevin Mann said Tank will win by vicious KO, probably worse than he did Leo Santa Cruz. I don't know how he can knock anybody out any worse than he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz went night, dog. And I was ringside. I was pretty much ringside for that fight. Gervonta Davis is a lot smaller than Leo Santa Cruz, man. A lot smaller than Leo Santa Cruz. And he got in on the inside of Leo. He had to look like he had difficulties getting on the inside, man. But also, Leo Santa Cruz really wasn't doing all that, man, like Raleigh was talking about, man. Master Eden says, still staying on facts. Thanks. Still loving the channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Dude in a bad mood says, Shakur is untouchable. Why people be pretending like he's an average fighter needing to prove himself? Dude sparred with champs and is holding his own. I mean, because honestly, man, he's a challenger. You know, he needs to prove himself still. I don't think that that's unrealistic. I saying the same thing about all those guys, man. You know, none of them have set themselves apart from everybody. Shakur, though, It will be, if he wins tonight, will be a two division weight champion. He would have 2 weight class champion. He would have won at 126. He win at 130. So, but I mean, it's probably because Shakur is not a knockout artist or hasn't looked like he has not been knocking everybody out. You know what I mean? Same thing with Devin Haney, man. Devin Haney's not does not look like a knockout artist. So there's some people that aren't really high on him because he's not a knockout artist. Where Teofimo Lopez is knocking people out. Ryan Garcia is knocking people out. Gervonta Tank Davis is knocking people out. So, some people put more weight on guys being knockout artists than guys that are winning decisions and really, who are winning decisions. But it's funny when they don't like the knockout artist, they'll switch what they like, or at least what they say they like, to saying, "Oh, I really like the knockout artist." But in the case of Deontay Wilder, right? Don Ritchie said, people are saying Riley might cause an upset and catch Davis. I disagree. I mean, he could catch him. I don't see it happening. But I think more the much higher likelihood is him getting caught by Tank. That's the thing. That's what Riley need to worry about. Because Riley talking about how big Tank Davis's head is. I'm like, yeah, that type of head usually can take a punch. His head is gigantic. His shoulders, his neck is gigantic. He looks like a spark plug. He looked like he can take a shot. Riley Romero got a weak chin, man. A weak-looking chin. He looked like he may go to sleep. Man, much love in that super chat, man. Holding the channel down today. Steven Taylor said, gotta support Fannon. Did you see Fury wishing Wilder happy birthday? Interesting, huh? Respect. Yeah, I thought he's a dickhead. That's what I thought. Wilder want to hear from you, dog. Why you grandstanding on that man's birthday, man? Nah, just kidding. Yeah, I saw that, man. But my understanding is Deontay Wilder doesn't even celebrate his birthday. But it's cool. It's cool. I don't think I know Deontay Wilder was like, gave the man a finger or something right after that, man. Gave him the straight up finger, man. Kimber504 said, Fannon, the year's almost over. What's your candidate for KO of the year? Mine is Valdez over Burchelt. I didn't see that knockout. I got to go back and look, man. For knockout of the year, man. I don't know. Because I went through like maybe 3 months. I went through like almost 2 months of really not watching boxing because I had health problems. So I went through a period of time where I wasn't even paying attention to boxing. So I can't even tell you, man. Darren Griffin said, from your old friend, what's good, man? He said, yeah, from your old man, you better get out of here counting that money. I hope he counting that money, though. Man, Deontay, man, if you feeling sorry for yourself, man, that will be a shame to everybody suffering in the world. Man, God dog, man. Do not do that. Not after making all that money, man. Making all that money, getting all this respect to these people. You know what I mean? But Valdez said Valdez cheated. Yeah, but yeah, I haven't seen it. I gotta go do it. What was another good knockout? Somebody got just laid out. Hey, I know that was last year. But can I give Alexander Povetkin knockout of the year again? I'm pretty sure that was in 2020. Pretty sure that was in 2020. But is there some way that I can give Alexander Povetkin another knockout of the year? Oh, nah, not I don't know, man. It's tough. There's so many of them knockouts look alike to me. We'll see. Bevo said, was Floyd true welterweight? No. No, he was not. Demetrius Hopkins KO versus Warwick. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't see that, man. I don't think I can vote on that. I think that's outside of my ability to vote, man. Man, let me try to get my likes, man. Come on. We got 330 people in the building, man. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button for me, man. Don't be chintzy with the like button, man. Super chats are greatly appreciated. Hit the like button, man, if you can't do that. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it, man. Help to tweak the algorithm, man. We say, don't forget Wilder brought Fury out of retirement. He was a drug addict and overweight with no money. Wilder blessed him, and the disrespect towards Wilder is crazy. Yeah, but it's been that way, man. Been that way, dog. Been that way. It was the jocking of Anthony Joshua, man. It was Anthony Joshua's fan base that did all of that, man. Because they just they thought they had it, man. Oh, we've got a superstar. That is a superstar ecosystem of money that they were going to try to make last for years and years. But they didn't want AJ to prove it against Deontay Wilder, so they just trashed Deontay Wilder full time. I'm telling you, man. And that's why I take so much offense to people trashing guys like it's selective, man. Even the people that support Deontay Wilder and all that stuff, dude, ain't necessarily against trashing another fighter when the time is right. You know what I mean? Hey, Fannon, you be right about some fights like Ife Ajagbe. Man, I be right about damn near all them fights. Hey, man, if I've picked the fight, I ain't been wrong. I think I got a chance to be wrong tonight, though. I will caveat that one. I got a chance to be wrong tonight. I don't know why, but it's probably because I was listening to that argument by BFTB, and he brought up just enough doubt in my mind to be like, maybe. But I just can't see it, man. I just can't see it. Because, first of all, Jamel Herring ain't no knockout artist, man. Jamel Herring ain't laying in. He'll go to the body now. He'll go to the body. But that hand speed difference and the foot speed difference, and there's not much of a power difference between the two of them. And it's a southpaw and a southpaw matchup, which is going to be straight skills. Jamel Herring is not fighting in the southpaw stance against an orthodox fighter. So he's not going to have that he's not going to have that advantage coming in there with Shakur Stevenson. So I think it's just going to be skill for skill. You know what I mean? No, he isn't. Why? Hey, is AJ done? AJ. Hey, AJ, are you done? AJ, is AJ done? And answer me seriously, man. I would like to know. Is AJ done? Don't duck the question, AJ. Is Anthony Joshua done? Please let me know if Anthony Joshua is done. Why not? He lost to two people. Why not? Why is AJ not done and Deontay Wilder done? AJ got just as many losses as Deontay Wilder. The exact same number. I know y'all saying he done. I'm asking AJ. Why not? Is Dillian White done? Dillian White got 2 knockout losses, homie. 2 knockout losses. Is he done? Mighty funny how people that say Deontay Wilder's done don't look at AJ. I don't think AJ's done. He ain't beating Alexander Usyk. I don't think he's beating Alexander Usyk, though. Jeffrey Brooks holding down that chat, man. Much love in that super chat, man. No such thing as avenging that loss, Anthony Ortiz. He got his ass beat. Okay? And then he lost to somebody else. That's 2 losses. Jeffrey Brooks said, Errol Spence isn't a knockout artist neither, but his fans treat him like the golden child. Hey, man, he be beating the shit out of people, though. He ain't got to have a knock. Is he not? He be torturing cats. But the knockout slowed up when you get to that top level, man. Not much. AJ's 30 years. How old is AJ? 32? How old is Anthony Joshua? 32? Something like that? Let's look. Anthony Joshua is not a spring chicken, homie. Anthony Joshua is 32 years old. AJ's 32. AJ's 32. But here's the thing, too. If Wilder is done, that's a long-ass career he had. Very long career. Very good career. Don Richie in that super chat. Both y'all in that super chat, man. supporting the channel, man. He said Wilder's career is over and he will never learn to be a real boxer. He just can't do it. And yes, AJ is done as well because he has no chin. Man, I don't see how they're done. Who's going to beat him? Tyson Fury. Other than Tyson Fury, who's going to beat Deontay Wilder? John. And much love. I appreciate that super chat. Other than Tyson Fury, who do you got beating Deontay Wilder? Who are the guys that are going to beat Deontay Wilder other than Tyson Fury? Be very interested to know who's going to get him. LaJessica Burton said, good afternoon, Fannon. Good afternoon to you as well. Lovely, lovely picture. Wilder's career was against nobodies. Dog, who's going to beat him? Who is going to beat him? 90% of heavyweights are nobodies. Dillian White has a career full of nobodies. Anthony Joshua has a career full of nobodies. Tyson Fury has a career full of nobodies. Name 5 fighters that Tyson Fury has fought. Name 5. Hey, let me tell you something right now, man. Are you serious? Lawrence Okolie? Are you serious? Are you joking? Hey, Julian, put your answer in there. Are you joking? And I gotta know. Are you joking? Are you joking? Dog. Lawrence Okolie will never get in the ring with Deontay Wilder. Lawrence Okolie has no chance of beating Deontay Wilder, dog. Lawrence Okolie? You mean the cruiserweight, the WBO cruiserweight champion, Lawrence Okolie? For real? Is he your cousin? Like y'all related or something? Joseph Parker? Just funning around. Yeah, I'm about to say, dog, I needed to know. See, because Julian, I've seen you say things that have made sense before. So I had to be like, hold on, man. Are you serious? Lawrence Okolie? Dog, Lawrence Okolie, I never want to see another Lawrence Okolie fight again in my life, man. Lawrence Okolie is absolutely, positively a UK domestic level fighter. He said, hey, he will hug him to death. Man, Lawrence Okolie. Dude, honestly, man, Lawrence Okolie will get outboxed by Deontay Wilder. He will get out, but Deontay Wilder literally could go 12 rounds with Lawrence Okolie and to say, I'm not even going to knock him out. I'm going to beat him with a jab and a right hand. No joke. That's how much I think of Lawrence Okolie. That you could literally say, Deontay Wilder don't even need to knock him out. It ain't going to be no round after round. Lawrence Okolie ain't even going to win rounds against Deontay Wilder. You're not telling the truth, Leo Sinclair. Okay? Thank you very much. I needed the comedy today. Okay? I needed the comedy today. Thank you so much. I woke up this morning thinking to myself, man, why am I not a Supreme Court justice? If I could have done different things in my life, I could have, all that stuff you do, reminiscing about things you wanted to be that you didn't accomplish. I had one of those mornings this morning, right? Not thanking the Lord for the things that I do have, right? But feeling sorry for myself. So I needed this video. I needed this laugh, dog. I need that. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for telling me that you honestly believe that Lawrence Okolie will beat Deontay Wilder. Lawrence Okolie, who will never, ever, 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 ever be a top heavyweight. No chance. Jeffrey Brooks said, I want to know how Fury's glove wasn't a big issue in this fight. If I was Wilder, I would have said no fight at the last moment, not for $40 million. And he would have got sued. Nah. Now with that, he couldn't do it. Because the fight, because the sanction, because the sanctioning, because the state approved the gloves. So at that point in time, he couldn't do it. But I will tell you this. Notice how his gloves were not flopping around. Like the first fight. Notice how his gloves were not flopping around. Notice that. That I will say, please take very careful look at. You know what I mean? But I needed that, man. Seriously. Lawrence Okolie, you might as well be talking about like Daniel Dubois. You know what I mean? I thought maybe you were going to talk about Daniel Dubois or something. Who, by the way, I shout out to Ring Magazine. Love your pictures. Man, great historic organization. All of that stuff. Very, very good writers. All of that, man. Support Ring Magazine. Ring Magazine, as far as their top up-and-coming fighters, put Daniel Dubois up there and did not put Jared Anderson up there. Man, Daniel Dubois. Chris McClain said Lawrence Okolie versus Dillian White. Oh, that's what that. How's that? What? Much love in that super chat, man. That's all I can say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that other than you know what I'm saying? It's the only thing I can say, man. I don't know what to say. You want me to say who's going to win? I mean, I guess Dillian White. But man, will Dillian White. Dude, Dillian White is like Robert Hellenius level, dog, to me. Like, seriously. Dillian White is not beating Michael Hunter, man. Please get Mike. They will not put that dude in the ring with Michael the Bounty Hunter. Put him in there with him, okay? He is going to get murked by Alexander Usyk. I don't care what it, man. He's just trash, man. He just trash, dog. Like, Dillian White, man, and it's annoying. It's not only that he's trash, he's so god doggone annoying, man. Will you comb your hair? You know what I'm saying? Will you comb your hair, man? And comb your beard. Man, Jeffrey Brooks holding it down, man. Much love in that super chat. Jeffrey Brooks said, yeah, but the padding was still way too thin again. Something serious needs to be done. I just don't know what it needs to be. That's cheating at its worst. I mean, seriously, man, guys need to start, as far as those gloves, black fighters need to start fighting in horsehair gloves. Fighting horsehair gloves. Mexicans been doing that, man. Been doing that. With those Reyes gloves, like the Reyes gloves, man, they've been fighting in that horse-haired puncher's gloves. These guys fighting puncher's gloves. Like, as far as that goes, if the rules are equal for everybody, then the rules are equal for everybody. You know what I mean? If that's the case. I don't like the custom gloves where you know, hopefully this fight ain't no punches gonna show up with his hand coming through the glove. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, I don't know, man. I just kind of want to say, man, that I just want to get past that Tyson Fury cheating shit. Like it's just everybody knows he does. It's everybody knows it. I can't rehashing it. Like Laz the Punch Out TV said, Fury said, I said that years ago in my video, Hunter would wipe the floor with Dillian White. Yeah, man, exactly. Like he beat Alexander Povetkin and they gave Alexander Povetkin that draw. And then they put Alexander Povetkin knocked out Dillian White. And then Dillian White fought Alexander Povetkin coming off COVID. Didn't let him out of that, didn't let him off the fight coming off COVID. And he's on juice. Boot. What the fuck? Do you say black fighters? What do you mean, dude? Schmeling. What are you talking about, dumbass? Max Schmeling, what are you talking about? What are you babbling on about? Did you say black fighters? Yes, I say black fighters. What's racist about saying black fighters? I'm black. I say Mexican fighters. I say Irish fighters. You guys just think saying you know black and nigger are not the same word, right? You know that, right? Black and the word nigger are not the same. I did not say nigger fighters. That would be racist. But it wouldn't be racist coming from me, seeing as I'm black. What are you talking about? Seriously. If you're talking to me, stop that shit. Him saying like, stop it. There's nothing wrong with saying black fighters. There are fighters that are black. What's the problem? There are fighters that are Mexican. What's the problem? If I call Monster Inoue a Japanese fighter, am I being racist? Because I say he's a Japanese fighter? He is a Japanese fighter. Yeah, and I let Max Schmeling float. Not much longer though. So I always want to call, and what is the obsession with calling black people racists? We are literally the only people getting called racist on YouTube. No joke. I never hear Mexicans being called racist on YouTube for supporting Mexican fighters. Never. I've never heard it. Only when I come to YouTube, and the only place in boxing is boxing, do you consistently hear white people calling black people racists? Or Mexicans calling black people racist? Or some bozo-ass Dominicans calling other black people racists? Because, dog, you're Dominican. You ain't getting off the boat, homie. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want, Negro. I don't care. You can say what you want, Negro. You can say what about you. You can talk about you from Dominican, all that. All right, Negro. You know what I mean? Felix Trinidad, dog. Felix Trinidad. Let me go back, man. My man said Larry's all got. But who wins? Chris McFarland. I'll give it to Dillian White. I think Dillian White will beat Lawrence Okolie. Lawrence Okolie's just not very good at all, dog. Did you say black fighters? You're such a racist. I'm black. What? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just, I'm serious, man. They use the word interchangeably. They're using the word interchangeably, dog. Like, and honestly, they're on the offensive is what they're doing. Because they know that what they're saying, since they want to talk bad about black fighters, they want to call you a racist so you can't call them one. You know? And for Teofimo Lopez's people to be calling me a racist, I was like, man, y'all better take your ass back wherever the fuck you came from with all of that shit. You know what I mean? Tell your boy to fight Devin Haney, dog. Oh, you're a racist. You want him to fight Devin Haney, you're a racist. You think Gary Russell Jr. deserves a fight? Oh, you're a racist. You think Deontay Wilder's a good fighter? You're a racist. You think Lomachenko's overrated? You're a racist. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you say anything about him, it's racism. They call race, I'm trying to tell you, they call racism like more than black people do. I've never said that somebody was a racist because, Mikey Garcia thinks Canelo Alvarez is the number one fighter in the world. Mikey Garcia is just racist. I mean, do you ever hear that? You know what I'm saying? Do you ever hear that? Stupidity coming out of people's mouths. I would say he thinks he's the best fighter in the world because he's discounting the fact that the man was on steroids. But if I say Terrence Crawford is a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez, it's because I'm racist. Not that I can look at the dude and say, nah, I think he's a better fighter because I think he's got more weapons than Canelo. I think he can do more in the ring than Canelo can. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a better all-around fighter than Canelo, and I don't think he's on steroids. So my nod goes to Terrence Crawford for pound. I think he's a pound for pound better fighter. I think if you put them two the same size in the ring with each other, I think Terrence Crawford will beat him. Also, I think if you look at the 4 scoring criteria of boxing, I think if you look at that evenly, I think that he's better well-rounded. Like defense, I think Terrence Crawford probably got better defense than Canelo. Effective aggressiveness, I think is about the same. Ring generalship, that's about the same. Clean and effective punching, yeah, I think it's about the same. Only thing that I think that he probably has better, I think he probably has a little bit better. Terrence Crawford has a little bit better defense, and that's because he's switching to that southpaw stance. But both of them are great fighters. Both of them, but why? But when Mexicans say that their guys are the best, they never run around calling them racist because of it. But a black person can be racist because they support a black person. You're a racist because you support black people. A black person is racist because they support black people. No, you're just stupid or dishonest. I'm stuck in between the two. I think you might be actually stupid and dishonest. Like for a long time, I was like, they're just stupid. Then I was like, nah, they're just dishonest. Now I think, no, you're stupid and dishonest. You're stupid and dishonest is what that is. You just want to jump because there's a lot of people listening to me. So you want to justify it. You know what I mean? Find some blanket thing that you can say to tear somebody else down. Because I'm not going nowhere, no matter what the fuck you say. And I proved it. Thank you very much. Anyway, Freddie Jimenez said, what about your boy Errol against Canelo in a fight? I don't know, man. I have to see Errol at 100. I got to see Errol I have to see Errol at that weight class, man. So why is a white person when they support, they're not. They're not is the answer to your question. An Irish guy that supports another Irish guy is not a racist. The fuck you talking about? A Scottish guy that supports a Scottish fighter is not racist. The fuck you talking about? All they're doing is supporting their own people. Nobody said that was. You become racist when you start hurting other people. Like when you come to my chat and start beating down on me because I support black people. That makes you racist, dumbass. Nobody said that white people in Tennessee can't support, they're racist because they support Caleb Plant. Nobody said that Italian people are racist because they support Paulie Malignaggi, or Polish people are racist because they support Thomas Adamek or Adam Kwanecki. You guys are fucking clowns. Nobody says that. Why would I say that? Paulie Malignaggi is Italian. These guys are Italian. They like Italians. They eat Italian food. Their wives are Italian. Their family came from Italy. They live in the same sections of time, Little Italy. Why shouldn't they support why shouldn't they support them? You're a fucking moron. Excuse my language. You're a moron. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling you. You're a moron and a racist. Because you think you can jump in and tell black people it's not okay to do what everybody else does. That makes you the racist. And then you stupid. Nobody said that. You are a racist if you are oppressing other people. Not if you support your own people. They're an extension of your family. What's the problem? There's no problem with it. Nobody has a problem with it. The problem becomes when you start hurting other people. You start manipulating other people. When you start stealing and hurting other people because other people are a different race than you are. It's the treatment of other races that make you a racist, not the treatment of your own race. Kidding me? There ain't nothing wrong with a bunch of Italian people wanting to live around a bunch of Italian people. But if a black person has the money to own a house and it's legal there, and they start breaking windows and beating up kids, that's when the problem takes place. Not when they choose to be with themselves. Next dumbass question. No problem with Honduras, people from Honduras supporting Teofimo Lopez. Here's the problem. There ain't enough Hondurans out here to sell tickets to Teofimo Lopez. There's more than enough black people to support black fighters. More than enough. Okay? You're a clown. Thank you. Next one. Next one, clown. And that, you're biased. You're biased. Why don't you just say biased? All these biased channels. You mean like Mexican channels that support Mexican fighters are biased for Mexican are biased for Mexican fans? You guys are clowns, man, with that crap. Seriously. CG Cap said racism is a system that's subjugated based on race, not support of someone that looks like you silly asses. Exactly. But say they just desperately want. I'm telling you, they just trying to steal the word. Trying to steal the word and trying to find some way to make you feel guilty about supporting black fighters. But you can't support a black fighter just because he's black. That makes you racist. Even though Mexicans support Mexicans just because they're Mexican and will tell you, Americans support Americans. No, they don't. But British will support British because they're British. Anyway, man, ain't nothing wrong with it, homie. It's when you mistreat other people. If I was to sit up here and tell you, hey there. Let me change subject. I hope I wasn't cussing. Love you very, very much. Said, he who greets with fire. Most black YouTubers like Fannon started YouTube channels because old media was straight up disrespecting black fighters and black fight fans. Absolutely, man. That's what that started all that stuff out there, man. Oh, man, it makes me feel good right there, man. Inside joke. CG Cap said Americans supported Tyson Fury because he was white, though. What American support? I still am waiting for this support from Americans for Tyson Fury, man. I want somebody to prove to me that white Americans supported Tyson Fury before I believe it. I don't believe it. I don't think he has a fan base at all. I think they're trying to grow his fan base. I don't really think he has one. They sold $13 million gate, right? The first fight, what was the second fight? The gate for the second fight was something like, what was it? Black folks supported Fury 2. We'll see the next fight. We'll see. If he goes back to Vegas, we will see what he can do. I already know I already know what, I mean, yeah, you know, I'm not talking about in mass. I'm not talking about like one here, one there. You know what I mean? There are a lot of Mexicans that don't like Canelo. And I know that because they come by the channel. Snowflake said, Snowflake the boss said, I'm white American. I didn't support Fury. But I'm talking about like in mass. You know what I mean? I'm really talking about in mass. You know, whether or not you supported him in like in a large number of people. I don't think there's that much support for Tyson Fury in the United States. I really don't. You know, if there was, you know, he would have done better in the fights between the first and the second. And honestly, man, there was a lot of dead time in between the second and the third. But, you know, I think consensus right now is considered the best heavyweight, right, by a lot of people. And I don't think that's unreasonable. But I do think that he needs to fight. I'd still think you need to fight Alexander Usyk to prove it, man. Hold on one second, man. Let me check something. Do. Yeah, Max Jamel, you just got to go. Oh, what did he say? Black and white are races. Italian, Scottish, Mexican are nationalities, you dummy. No, excuse me. Excuse me, Holmes. Excuse me. You shouldn't have timed him out for that. Okay? In the United States, Irish people are Irish. Scottish people are Scottish. White is a category. It's a group category. Black people are from the United States. If a black person from the United States, an African American, there you go. Here, let me help you, dummy. African Americans supporting African Americans. African American is just as much of as a nationality as Irish American is. Does that make you feel better if I don't say black people, if I say African American? How about that? Does that make you feel better? It's okay if African Americans support African Americans. Does that work? You're trying to nitpick. People use those interchangeably. A Chinese person that lives in Mexico is not called Mexico. Is not called Mexican, is he? If what you said was true, a Chinese person that came to the United States would cease being Chinese as soon as he got to the United States because he'd be an American, right? His nationality isn't Chinese anymore. It's American, right? A Mexican born in the United States who's not a citizen of Mexico, like Mikey Garcia. I guess he's not Mexican, is he? Since he lives in the United States. Is he? Silly, man. Y'all be race tripping. Go away, man. And you be bye-buying. Okay? Thank you very much. Anyway, I bring up the subject if somebody else brings the subject up. I'm just going to tell you, I don't have any problem supporting fighters from the North American continent living in the United States of America. Okay? It's all a hodgepodge of stuff. Okay? But you know what I mean, man. You know that I mean people of African descent. You know that. So why in the world? Yeah, Michael Kirkland, by training. Yeah. Chris Turner said loyalty, a loyal person suppose their fighter win, lose, or draw. Pretty much, man. So I am with Deontay Wilder, supporting him, man. But look, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I want to appreciate everybody for coming through the chat this morning and supporting the chat. More than likely, I'll call a fight coming up later this evening. I'm not sure if I will or if I won't because this depends on what time my wife is coming in. But I got to get out of here, man. Thank you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. And with that, I'm out. Deuces. And he who agrees with fire, what's up, man? Let me make sure something on who he agrees with. Yeah, I got him. Definitely got you. All right, man. With that, I'm out. Deuces.